You know, I can basically say if you're an atheist, this is one movie you should avoid religiously. When it came out, it was hailed as one of the most important kind of spiritual or pseudo Christian movies of the 1980s. Led to two Academy Award actresses nominations for Ellen Burstyn lead, and of course Eva Le Gallienne as the very beautiful and ethereal older grandmother in the movie. But when Resurrection came out, although it was a box office bomb, the critics loved it, and a whole bunch of nominations came their way. Now, this American drama was directed by Daniel Petrie, written by Louis John Carlino, and starring Burstyn, Sam Shepard in a very bizarre performance, Richard Farnsworth, Robert Blossom, Lois Smith, and Le Gallienne. It was produced by Rennie Missel and Howard Rosamond. The plot involves a woman who returns to life after dying momentarily in a car crash and find that she's a power to heal people. It kind of plays like a Rod Serling episode, The Twilight Zone, with aspects of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, but it's well put together. You rarely see it on television. It's being shown on Hollywood Suite in Canada this week, and like I said, good movie to watch if you haven't seen or heard about the movie before. Now, after 53 Academy Awards, Resurrection earned Burstyn and Le Gallienne nominations for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress, respectively, while Burstyn received a nomination for Best Actress in a Motion Picture at the Globes. At the National Board of Review Awards for 1980, Le Gallienne won Best Supporting Actress, while the film was selected as one of the top 10 films of 1980. And Le Gallienne gave a very strong performance, especially her scenes with Burstyn. She's kind of representing all, well, I wouldn't say grandmothers, but all great grandmothers out there. Now, in this one, Edna Mae Macaulay survives a car accident that kills her husband, played by Damon. Now, and nearly kills her, but her brief out of body experience gives her the power to heal people. Now, paralyzed from the waist down, Edna returns with her father to a small hometown in Kansas to recuperate and be cared for by her family. On their way, they stop at Last Chance Gas, run by the friendly, eccentric Esco Brown, played by Richard Farnsworth. Welcome home by family, Edna unwittingly heals a little girl at a party with chronic nosebleeds, to the bewilderment of those around her. Edna's grandmother, Le Gallienne, tells her of a woman she knew who had briefly died from pneumonia and returned to life. This woman experienced the same visions as Edna when her spirit left her body, and when she returned to life, she too had the power to heal people, sort of like touched by Jesus. Edna eventually heals herself and slowly begins to walk again. She becomes an unwitting celebrity, the hope of those in desperate need of healing, and a lightning rod for religious beliefs and skeptics. Now, it's kind of not really stated what year it is, but I think it's in the near future where basically the Cold War is bringing everybody down. Now, when Edna eventually heals one Cal Carpenter, played by Shepard, a local farmer, from a stab wound he sustained in the fight, he begins to court her, and the two eventually became a romantic relationship. As their relationship blossoms, Edna begins to heal her own psychological wounds, coming to peace with the death of her husband and working to understand her new fate. However, Cal believes that Edna's mystical abilities are a sign of God's will, and he refuses to accept her belief that her powers simply come from deep love and understanding, and it slowly becomes unstable. He basically believed that Edna is Jesus reincarnated. After two psychologists witness one of Edna's healings, they ask her if she would be willing to undergo some tests. She and Cal accompanied them to California, where Edna heals a woman with dystonia. Believing this to be too much power, Cal confronts Edna and demands she proclaims herself as Christ resurrected, which she refuses. Cal eventually attempts to assassinate Edna during one of her healing gatherings by shooting her, but he misses, just grazing her shoulder. After Cal is incarcerated, Edna decides to leave her hometown. This is after she has a deep scene with her dying father. It's quite effective. Now, several years pass, and we do see a much older Edna now running Esco's gas station. A young couple with an adolescent son who is dying of cancer are traveling to see relatives when they stop to fuel up. Edna suggests the mother and father look at her desert flower collection while she and her son have a talk, and she heals the son before they continue on their way. And a lot of the books that are written about Academy Award performances that did win Best Actress, I think Burstyn would have won for Best Actress, but because she won before for Alice, and the fact that Sissy Spacek was pretty well given she was going to get the award. It was kind of, but she had the best performance in 1980, without a doubt. Now, Mario Tosi did the cinematography, very effective, almost like a road trip. Edited by Rita Rowland, with music by the great Maurice Shaw. Released by Universal, and with a budget of $6 million, with only $4 million at the box office. Well, it's not a movie for everybody, and it did pretty good on VHS for a little while, but I don't think you would see it on tape back then more than a couple of years. Now, it was announced in '76 that writer Stephen Geller had penned a supernatural thriller screenplay under the working title of Resurrection, based on an idea by producers Rennie Missel and Howard Roseman. The script would later be reworked by writer Louis John Carlino, and Geller did not remain with the project and did not receive on-screen credit. Carlino worked closely with actress Ellen Burstyn, and he observed healing centers together. Carlino was able to weave many of Burstyn's beliefs and philosophy about healing into her character. Filming took place on a location in Texas, and principal photography was completed in 1979, but it only had a September 1980 release. Now, it opened in 420 theaters across the states on September 26, 80, before expanding further on November 7th. The film eventually grossed only $4 million against a budget of $6 million, making it for many a box office disappointment. Now, heavily touted by critics, it holds an 83 approval rating of Rotten Tomatoes, based on a half dozen reviews, with an average rating of 7.5. AllMovie gave it 4 out of 5 and called it an effective film with brilliant performance by Ellen Burstyn. Now, Siskel and Ebert loved it. They both gave the film a highly enthusiastic review in their weekly TV show Sneak Previews, with critics praising Burstyn's performance and handling the subject matter. In his annual movie guide, Maltin rated the film 3.5 stars out of 4, calling Burstyn's performance moving and is the centerpiece of a wonderful and underrated film. Now, Frederick and Marianne Broussat of Spirituality and Practice wrote very positively of the film. They said Resurrection is a very timely film and that deals with health, sickness, healers, religious and non-religious, and the interest science has in this whole phenomenon. Now, in a positive review of the film, FilmAuthority.com said, Resurrecting is a well-mounted and acted film, but the point is hard to nail down to one specific meaning. Is Edna Messiah? Does she actually have supernatural powers? Or is this all an operating table dream, a la Jacob's Ladder? Now, that's left pretty well open-ended, because does Ellen Burstyn look or act like a faith healer? No, she acts and looks like Ellen Burstyn, so it's hard not to dissuade her. You'll see her up the stage as the lady from The Exorcist, and Alice doesn't live it anymore. But what really makes it human is that it's logical that someone with Ellen Burstyn's personality would do what she's doing. Now, Janet Maslin also found it great. She said in a review in the New York Times, Resurrection is a movie about faith and one that must be taken on faith. That's how they do it. But there's some very emotional scenes that if you ever lost a child or a person to cancer and see Ellen Burstyn, especially the last scene where she heals that young gentleman, it's very, very dramatic. And a lot of people have basically said through the years, the movie has given them faith in fate, because death is the body is just a shell for many, and I'm going to feel the same way. Your spiritual lessons can be augmented by facing crises. I went blind on assignment many years ago, and I got it back, and my spirituality is stronger because I think my Lord and Savior has a purpose for me to spread the good word of what the importance of movies and TV and sports can be in this podcast channel. It's a different way I'm looking at my media efforts. But Ellen Burstyn, I've always liked her, even though she's made some weird allegations about how she got certain jobs. I'll leave that to the tape for you to look at it. But she's done movies in Canada. She's done movies the last number of years. Every performance she does, she's probably the most consistent actress of the modern era, besides Frances McDormand, because every Ellen Burstyn movie is very interesting. So besides the Academy Award nomination, it won the special jury prize at the Avozio Fantastic Film Festival. National Board Review again. Le Gallienne won Best Supporting Actors there in 4th place at the New York Films Critics Circle Awards. The Saturn Awards, she won nominations for Best Actress, Best Supporting, Best Writing, and Best Music. Ironically, it was only released on VHS by Universal in 1990 and on DVD as part of the Universal Vault series of DVD on demand titles in 2010. It was released on Blu-ray in 2019. Now, a restored version of the film with a new 2K scan was released on region-free Blu-ray by Australian label Via Vision Entertainment in February 2023. Among the special features produced for the release is a newly recorded interviews with Ellen Burstyn and film historian Kat Ellinger, an audio commentary by author and film historian Lee Gammon, and a limited edition slipcase on the first 1,500 copies produced. Now, a novelization was written by George Gipe and released in 1980. Now, ironically, Resurrection was remade for TV and broadcast on ABC on March 15, 1999, directed by Stephen Gyllenhaal. It starred Dana the Lady, with Nick Chunlin, Brendan Fricker, and Rita Moreno in supporting roles. So if you can find it on video, please do so. With any type of group like that, that's quite interesting. So ladies and gentlemen, Resurrection, definitely 3.5 out of 4. The only problem I have with the movie, of course, is Sam Shepard's so friggin' over the top in this movie. Rubbing the shotgun before he tries to kill Ellen Burstyn's character. I mean, that's a little bit too cliche, but that's the only negative I can find it, because a Sam Shepard movie, he's going to do the macho. Like I said, he doesn't ruin the movies he's in, but it's Sam Shepard. He's playing himself all the time. But Ellen Burstyn, again, great performance and a great movie, and a movie needs to be seen by someone who needs to believe in something. Have a good one. Bye.